You think you walk alone in this world? You think your friends are just the ones you see at lunch, the ones who laugh at your jokes, the ones who like your posts? Nah. What if I told you there are forces moving behind the shadows, people you've never met, faces you'll never know, watching, calculating, waiting, and they're willing to do things most would call terrifying just to protect you? Scary? Maybe. Empowering? Absolutely. You've been underestimating the power of unseen loyalty, and that mistake, that's the one that cost most of the world everything. Think about it. Every day, you walk through crowded streets, scroll through endless feeds, or sit in quiet rooms, thinking you're just surviving. But survival isn't what I'm talking about. Protection is. Silent, invisible, ruthless protection. People in high places don't make threats. They make movements. They shift systems, pull strings, bend situations in ways you'd never imagine. It sounds unreal, right? But the truth is far darker and far more exhilarating. You've got allies you've never met, in offices you'd never enter, in positions you'd never dream of touching. And what they'll do, what they're capable of, it would terrify you if you saw it in action. Now I know what you're thinking. Who are these people? How do I know they exist? Don't fool yourself. You don't need to see the hand to feel the power. You just need to know the effects. Your life has already been touched, nudged, even rescued by forces too subtle for your eyes. Every opportunity that landed in your lap, every door that opened at just the right time, every whisper of warning that kept disaster away, that wasn't luck, that was protection. Quiet, deadly, relentless. And they'll go to lengths that would make even the boldest tremble, just for you. Let me tell you something most people won't admit. Fear isn't just something to overcome. Fear is a tool. It sharpens the senses. It tells you where the edges of your safety lie. It forces you to notice who's watching, who's waiting, who will move before you even know there's a problem. Your unknown friends, they are the masters of that fear. They manipulate it, direct it, use it to shield you from disasters you don't even see coming. And here's the kicker. You'll never fully know them. Not in the way you know the people around you. Their loyalty isn't loud. It doesn't ask for thanks. It doesn't even want acknowledgement. It's terrifying because it's absolute. So here's the truth, and it's one most people aren't ready to face. You are not as alone as you think. No. You are being guarded, maneuvered, defended in ways that make ordinary protection look like child's play. And it's not just physical. It's strategic, psychological, systemic. Think bigger. Think walls you didn't even realize existed, barriers no one saw coming, and safety nets woven so perfectly that danger bounces right off you. Your life is a chessboard, and your unknown friends, they are the unseen queens and knights moving silently across the board, eliminating threats before you even know they exist. You want power? You want influence? You want survival that feels like victory at every turn? You have to accept the reality of the shadows, because shadows aren't empty. They're filled with agents, guardians, protectors, and yes, a little bit of chaos. And that chaos is what keeps you alive, what keeps you untouchable by circumstance. Funny, isn't it? That the people you never knew, the hands you never shook, are the ones shaping your entire fate. Most of the world will never see it. They will never understand it. But you're about to. And the realization will make you sharper, hungrier, more alive than you ever imagined. So stay with me. Lean in. Feel the weight of it, because once you do, there's no turning back. The truth is electrifying. The truth is dark. And the truth is exactly what will make you unstoppable without you ever needing to lift a finger. The question is, are you ready to see what they'll do? Because what they're willing to do will terrify you. And it should. Now that you've felt it, you can't pretend you don't. That quiet pressure in your chest, that sense that something larger is circling your life. This is where most people panic. They start looking for faces, names, proof. Big mistake. The moment you try to drag the shadows into the light, you lose their advantage. Your unknown friends don't protect by standing next to you. They protect by standing ahead of you. Way ahead. So far ahead that danger never even gets the chance to introduce itself. You see, real protection doesn't look heroic. It looks boring. It looks like a plan that never had to be used. Nah, that's the part that messes with people's heads. You think safety comes from strength, noise, and confrontation. Wrong. It comes from quiet leverage. From someone somewhere deciding that your name gets moved up a list while another name gets erased. From a conversation you never heard that changed the direction of an entire situation. From a rule being bent just enough that you slip through unharmed while others collide headfirst. And don't get it twisted. These people don't act out of kindness. They act out of calculation. You are valuable. Not because you beg, not because you're loud, but because you matter in ways you haven't even figured out yet. Unsettling, isn't it? To realize your worth was recognized before you ever believed in it yourself. While you were doubting, hesitating, shrinking back, someone in a higher seat was already saying, "Not this one, keep this one safe." This is where the fear kicks in. Because protection like this isn't gentle. It doesn't ask permission. If a threat appears, it doesn't negotiate. It redirects. It delays. It exhausts. Sometimes it lets the threat destroy itself while thinking it's winning. No. This isn't about dramatic rescues or last-minute saves. This is about pressure applied so early and so subtly that the danger never realizes it was neutralized. That's the terrifying part. Not the action, but the invisibility of it. Think back. Really think. How many times should things have gone wrong for you, but didn't? How many moments felt lucky when they had no right to be? That job you didn't get that later turned out to be a disaster. That argument that almost exploded but suddenly went quiet. That person who was ready to cause damage, then vanished from your path. You called it coincidence. A coincidence is just the name we give to patterns we're too afraid to acknowledge. And here's the twist that changes everything. The protection doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you dependent. It makes you dangerous in a different way. Because when you know you're guarded, you move differently. You stop panicking. You stop rushing. You stop begging the world to approve of you. You start choosing. Calmly. Deliberately. You don't need to fight every battle because most of them are already being handled before they reach you. That confidence? That quiet confidence people can't explain when they look at you? That's the residue of unseen backup. You're walking through life with a safety margin most people will never have, and they can sense it. That's why some people hesitate around you for no clear reason. That's why certain attacks never fully land. Something about you feels protected, and predators hate protected targets, even when they can't explain why. But don't misunderstand this. Protection is not permission to be careless. The moment you start acting reckless, arrogant, or blind, you become a liability. And liabilities don't stay protected for long. Nah. Your unknown friends respect awareness. They protect those who move with discipline, patience, and self-control. That's the unspoken agreement. You stay sharp. They stay silent. You stay focused. They keep the gates closed. This is the mindset shift. You're not trying to dominate the world. You're not trying to prove anything. You're learning to stand still while chaos misses you. You're learning to let pressure slide off instead of crashing into it. That's power most people will never understand. They think strength is about force. You're learning it's about positioning, and you're positioned better than you think. So as we move forward, remember this: you don't need to expose the shadows. You need to respect them. Walk straight, speak carefully, observe everything. And when things fall into place a little too perfectly, don't celebrate too loudly. Just nod. Keep moving, because the protection around you isn't loud, it's efficient. And what it's willing to do, quietly and without hesitation, is exactly why you're still here. We enter the part that most people can't stomach. The part where reality gets uncomfortable. You've felt the invisible weight, the quiet hand guiding, the calculated chaos keeping you intact. But now it's time to understand what that really means. Protection of this caliber? It doesn't negotiate with failure. It doesn't tiptoe around consequences. It strikes preemptively, decisively, in ways you'll never see, and in ways that would terrify you if you did. Picture it. Someone moving against you, thinking they can make a move, thinking the world is theirs to shape. The irony. Because before they even step forward, before they even imagine the outcome, the game has already shifted. Doors close silently, alliances fracture, plans unravel, all because a force you've never met decided you were worth defending. That's the terrifying part. The absolute efficiency of it. You live in a world where the safety nets are invisible, and yet they catch you every single time. And here's the kicker. You might think power comes from aggression, from confrontation, from showing teeth. No. Real power, real survival, is the quiet assurance that no attack is unaccounted for. You could walk into chaos blindfolded, and somehow someone somewhere has already tilted the scales in your favor. Sometimes it's subtle. A timely message, a lost opportunity avoided, a word whispered in the right ear. Other times, it's massive. A threat neutralized before it even existed in the minds of those who intended it. And you never know which form it will take. That uncertainty, that's the edge. And this is why most people fear the unknown. They can't see it, so they assume it's not there. They mistake invisibility for absence. But absence is dangerous. Invisibility is lethal. Your unknown friends operate in shadows for a reason. They protect because they must, not for applause. And the things they're willing to do to keep you safe, they defy logic. They bend rules you didn't know existed. They leverage resources you didn't know were accessible. They maneuver systems in ways that would make even the most confident tremble. But don't confuse this with mindless intervention. Every move is calculated, every action precise, every consequence anticipated. This is a game you weren't trained for. the kind of protection most will never experience. It's like standing in a fortress that no one can see, walls made of strategy, silence and ruthless dedication. And the beauty? You walk through it unaware, while the world rages outside, thinking luck has smiled upon you. And here's the most powerful lesson. Protection like this doesn't make you passive. It sharpens you. It teaches patience. It forces awareness. You start to read patterns, anticipate danger, recognize who moves against you and who moves for you, even when the signals are faint. The very act of being guarded molds you into someone others cannot easily predict, cannot easily defeat. The irony is delicious. The safer you are, the sharper you become, the less people realize just how untouchable your position has already become. But never forget this: the shield is invisible, not infinite. The protection surrounding you is absolute only, as long as you respect it, as long as you honor the silence, the calculation, the discipline that comes with it. Step recklessly, step arrogantly, step blindly. And even the most devoted guardians can only mitigate so much. That tension, that razor-thin edge, is what makes life thrilling. That's what separates those who merely survive from those who move through the world untouchable by circumstance, yet fully alive, fully aware. And now as you move forward, remember this: your unknown friends are terrifying. Not because they seek to harm, but because their loyalty knows no limits, no hesitation, no compromise. They act before threats exist. They act while you sleep. They act in ways that make ordinary protection look like a child's game. And you are the reason their movements, their calculations, their unseen interventions matter. Step carefully. Observe quietly, trust wisely, and above all, never underestimate the shadowed forces moving for you, because what they will do to protect you is more terrifying, more precise, and more brilliant than anything the world has dared to imagine. And this is only the beginning of your awakening. Awareness is one thing, realization is another. But transformation? That's where the danger and the power really begins. Because once you know you have unknown friends moving in the shadows, protecting you in ways that would terrify ordinary minds, you can't just sit back. You must act, but act differently. Smarter, sharper, calculated. This is where the game flips. Most people chase protection. Most people beg for safety. You already have it, but that protection isn't a crutch. It's a tool, a weapon disguised as subtlety. And now it's yours to wield, not to manipulate others, but to manipulate yourself. To move boldly, confidently, and strategically in a world where most are stumbling blindly. Every decision you make now carries weight. Every step is amplified by the unseen forces at work in your favor. Think about it. The world is full of chaos, uncertainty, danger, and yet you move through it with a hidden net beneath your feet. The thrill of it. The knowledge that no misstep is fatal, that no enemy is truly untouchable, that someone somewhere has already tilted the scales. That realization changes everything. It sharpens your instincts, it forces focus, it teaches patience, and it fuels ambition. Because when you know the odds are stacked for you in secret, the question isn't if you can survive. The question is, how far can you go before the world even notices? And here's the dark truth most people refuse to face. Power isn't given. Influence isn't earned by the loudest voice. Survival isn't achieved by force alone. It comes from positioning, timing, awareness, and leverage. The exact tools your unknown friends are already using to keep you safe. When you embrace that, you stop competing with fools. You stop reacting to chaos. You start shaping it, quietly, calculated, invisible, terrifying to anyone who dares underestimate you. And yes, there's responsibility. This kind of protection is not infinite, and it's not unconditional. Your unknown allies respond to vigilance, awareness, and discipline. They protect the sharp, the mindful, the ones who recognize that being shielded is a privilege, not a right. Waste it, and the margin narrows. Honor it, and the margin grows into a fortress no one can breach. Every choice, every action, every word you speak now carries the echo of unseen guardians, silently amplifying the impact.